Hello friends, this is Durga again from IT University, a one-stop shop to learn all the technologies. At this time we are talking about HDFS commands, and so far we have covered till MB. Even put is covered as part of copy to local command itself as part of the earlier video. And the rename snapshot is not that relevant. Means if you are familiar with snapshots, also I have the videos related to snapshots. So you can go through those to understand the snapshots also. So we will try to cover as many as possible for the rest of the commands in this video. -rm or -rmdir are primarily to remove the files or directories. So you can run Hadoop fs help rm and hit enter. So you can see it takes three options: -skip trash or -f -rr. So if you skip trash, it will directly delete and you cannot redo. Okay. If you use -skip trash as an option while deleting the files or directories. -f, if the file does not exist, do not display a diagnostic message or modify the exist status to reflect an error. So if you just want to remove files and if it fails, if you don't want to get the errors for whatever reason, in that case you can use -f command. I will demonstrate that. And then if you want to recursively delete a directory, then you can use -r or R. So we have many directories and files under /user root. So I would like to delete all these files and directories up to D1. So everything here which is in a tree of D1, I want to delete. If I want to delete, and if I run Hadoop fs -rm user root D1 and hit enter, it will fail saying it is a directory. So if you want to delete, you have to use -R or small r to recursively delete those directories. If you try to delete a file, you can easily use you can safely use -rm, or even if you want to delete multiple files in one shot, you can use the patterns also like this. I will come back to deleting directories in a moment. D2, D3, D4, file star. I want to delete all the files which starts with file and have .txt extension. So all four files, file.txt, file1.txt, file2.txt, file cp.txt are deleted now. They will be copied to trash at this time because trash is enabled. And if you want to delete from trash, you can run expunge command, which I have covered earlier. So anyway, now you can see this file1, file2, file and file underscore cp.txt in trash. Now we will try to delete the directory D1. So for that you can just say Hadoop fs -rm -R user root D1, and everything D1, D2, D3, D4 will be deleted in recursive fashion. You can validate that by using Hadoop fs -ls -r command, and you can see even D1, D2, D3, D4 are in trash for now. So you can do expunge to clean up the trash, but I think expunge is not allowed by user root. So we have to say sudo -u HDFS Hadoop fs expunge and hit enter. And now let us see if everything is flushed. It is not flushed yet. We have to run several times, especially if you are trying to delete files. If you try to flush the trash immediately after deleting, you have to run multiple times. Typically it will try to delete only the older files from the trash when you actually run expunge command. So it will take little time. Expunge user root, no, it will not work. Anyway, it will take some time to clean up the trash, but eventually the stuff will go away from trash. So now if we try to run rm command after directory is deleted, it will say no such file or directory, and if you don't want to see those errors, you can just say -f and hit enter, and you will not see the errors. So this is highly relevant when you try to program and try to delete the files. In some cases you don't want to fail your program when with this kind of issues. If you try to delete a non-existing directory for whatever reason, and if you don't want to fail your program because directory does not exist, in that case, as part of your application code, you should have -f option. And then rmdir. So again we will do help on rmdir. Rmdir is nothing but rm minus capital R, but it has additional options such as ignore fail on non-empty. Okay, so typically if you and also it only deletes the empty directories, it will not delete non-empty directories. But it will fail if you try to delete a non-empty directory, it will fail, and if you don't want to fail it, then ignore fail on non-empty. So let us demonstrate. So let me see what files I have. I have history.txt. I will use that one itself. So Hadoop fs mkdir user root d1. I created a directory called d1, and then Hadoop fs copy from local or put history.txt, which is on local file system, to HDFS, which is user root d1. And if you want to give local file system path, if it is root, typically it will be root slash and wherever your file is. If it is non-root, it will look like this, home slash the OS user. If you are not sure about the home directory or the directory you have to use, you just run pwd and it will give the path where you are in at any location. When you typically log in, you will be logging into the home directory, and when you run pwd, it will give the path of your home directory. Anyway, Hadoop fs -put and copy from local are same. In this case I am using -put and giving fully qualified path for my history.txt file, and then user root d1, and file will be copied to there. Now if I do Hadoop fs -rmdir slash user slash root slash d1, it says directory is not empty. Now if I say ignore fail on non-empty, it actually does not delete the directory. It will just ignore that directory is not empty, and it will not delete the directory. rmdir is the command only to delete empty directories. Now you can validate that Hadoop fs -ls slash user slash root. Sorry, I have spelled it incorrect, and you can still see the directory d1, and you can see the file history.txt. So if you want to delete the directory which have files, you have to use rm with -r control argument to delete the directory recursively, including the files. So Hadoop fs rm, either you can do this also, user root d1 history.txt. After deleting the file, to delete the directory which is empty, you cannot just use -rm. If you want to delete directory using -rm, you have to use -r control argument to delete directory recursively. So for example, if I say Hadoop fs rm user root d1, it will fail, saying it is a directory. Okay, either you can use -rm -r, which I have shown earlier, or as the directory is empty, you can also use -rmdir, which will delete the directory. and now you can see Hadoop FS -ls user root and hit enter, and you will not see the directory anymore. So that is how RMDIR works. Hadoop FS, hit enter, and then we will see the next set of commands. ACL is again related to ACLs. ATTR I am not sure, I will try to cover sometime later, both getFATTR and setFATTR in one video. And setrep, which is a very important command, Hadoop FS -ls, -help setrep. So setrep set the replication level of a file. If it is a directory, then the command recursively changes the replication factor of all files under the directory tree. It requests that the command wait for the replication to complete. This can potentially take a very long time. With -w option. With -R option, it is accepted for backward compatibility. It has no effect. So forget about -R. It has only two parameters, -R and -w. And -R is only for backward compatibility. You can ignore it. -w. So if you want your command to wait until replication is done immediately, then you can use -w. If you don't use the -w also, the replication will happen, but it will happen in background. So that's the difference between using -w and not using -w. If you so it takes two parameters after control argument. If you pass control argument, those two parameters are, first one is numeric value, which is replication factor, and second one is path. Okay. So to get the details of the replication, there are multiple ways to do that. One is you can use the name node web interface. So I am logging into my name node web interface, which runs on port number 50070. It is very important to memorize this, because this port number, if you have this port number, you can and the IP address where your name node is running, you can easily understand how the cluster is set up on your cluster. Okay, now go to utilities, browse the file system. Okay, as it is running in high availability right now, node 02 is in active and node 01 is in passive mode. So utilities, yeah, it's already in the file system. Go to user, go to root, and here you can see the file largdeck.txt and the replication factor is 3. Now if I want to change the replication factor to 2 or 1, I can use this command called Hadoop FS setrep. So you can use -w if you want to wait until the replication is done successfully, and then I want to reduce it to 2. User root. If you give the directory name, all the files under the directory recursively under the directory tree will have a new replication factor. So now it is waiting for the replication to readjust the replication. So instead of having 3 copies of each of the block in for large.txt, now you will have only 2 copies. And now you can refresh this page, and now you can see the replication factor has 2. And if you click on this file, you can see that each block, so there are 6 blocks, each block have only 2 copies. Okay, and now if you want to change it back to 3 without -w option, it will come back immediately without waiting. Okay, but in the background it will slowly change the replication factor to 3. So it will change it to 3, but if you look at the block, it has only 2 copies. So let's wait for some time. Now you can see that it has 3 copies of each of the block. So setrep is the command to reset the replication factor to a different value for a given file or a directory tree. And from command line, if you want to get the replication factor, there is no getrep command. Okay, one of the ways I am familiar is you can use a command called HDFS FSCK. Okay, FSCK stands for file system check. HDFS file system check command, and if you hit enter, it will show you the syntax. You can see that it HDFS FSCK, and then you have to give the path, and there are other options such as move, delete, open for write, etc. But these are the things which will actually give the details about files, blocks, locations, etc. So HDFS FSCK user root large deck .txt, and if you give files and hit enter, even this files is optional, you don't need to give. You can see the replication factor is 3 for this file, and average block replication is also 3, so the replication is already done. Okay, so that is how you can actually use the setrep command to change the replication factor. It is very important. There might be questions in interviews or certifications whether you can actually change the replication factor of the file. Answer is yes, provided administrators are not controlling behind the scenes. Typically you can reset the replication factor. While creating the file, you have to use a command like this: put -D DFS replication, which is the parameter which controls the replication factor, equal to whatever size you want to give, and then the input path for the put command and the output path where the directories, the files has to be created. That way you can actually control the replication while copying the files itself. But once the files are copied, if you want to modify the replication, then you should use setrep command, set replication command, or setrep command. There is no set replication command. Setrep stands for set replication, and you can use setrep command to change the replication factor for a given file or directory tree recursively. Hadoop fs-help. We'll go to the next Hadoop fs, and we will see what are the remaining commands. Stat. So let us see what it is. I haven't used it before. -help stat, and hit enter. So it prints statistics about the file or directory in the specified format. So format accepts file size in blocks, group name of owner, file name, block size, replication, username of owner, modification date. All the statistics will be printed with when you use stat command. So let's see. Hadoop fs stat user root, and hit enter. So by default it has given the time of updated, modified time or created time of the directory, and if you give the file name large deck.txt and hit enter, it has given the modification time of the file. If you want to get other details, you can say Hadoop fs stat. So in this case, if I want to get file size in blocks, %b, and then user root large deck.txt and hit enter. So you can see the size of the file in blocks. I don't know what is this file size in blocks, why it is this big. Okay, anyway, if you want to get group name of owner, %g, so supergroup is the group name of the file, and username of owner will %u. If you want to get the block size Okay, we can actually get the details about replication factor and block size from using -stat percentage format. Okay, %o, %r. Okay, we cannot give multiple formats, we can only give, let's see whether I can give like this. No, it does not. So we can only give one format. So if you want to get the replication factor, %r, so replication factor is 3. So stat is the command to get individual details of all the properties of the files or directories. Okay, and then Hadoop FS and see what is the next command. So tail is the command which will list the last few lines of the file. So Hadoop FS help tail and hit enter. So you can see that it shows the last 1 KB of file. It's not that last 100 lines or 1000 lines. It actually shows 1 KB of last 1 KB of the file. And if you have so if you are copying a file into a directory which is very big, and if you want to see whether it is being copied or not, you can actually run -f option, where at the file being written into HDFS, it will be read through tail-f, and it will be showing you the contents that are being copied into the target directory or HDFS. So if you want to see the whether the data is copying or not while file is being copied, then you can use -f command also. So Hadoop FS -tail user root largedeck.txt, and it will tail last 1 KB. To see how many lines are tailed, you can actually pipe it to Linux command. wc-l is a Linux command to get the list of lines and hit enter. By this, the output of this Hadoop FS command will go as input. So that 1 KB data has gone as input to wc command, which is a Linux command, and it has given the number of lines that are printed here, which are 78. So it depends upon the size of average size of each line. So the number of lines that are displayed for each file will vary, and it depends upon the size of average size of last few lines of that 1 KB. You will see it will the number of lines that are displayed will vary from file to file. And then again Hadoop FS hit enter. Tail is also done, and now test. So Hadoop FS -help test. So test answer various questions about path with result by a exit status. So -d return 0 if it is a directory. So if you say Hadoop FS test -d user root largedeck.txt. So if you want to test whether it is a directory, then you can use -d option, and it does not return anything because it's not a directory. But if you give user root, then it will return 0. It didn't. Let me try with file, which is -f. It is not returning 0. Probably it might not be printed in command prompt. So I think it is not returning to standard out. That's why it is not showing up here. So anyway, let's ignore it. I'm not sure. but the purpose of test command is to perform various tests, and -d to test whether the given path is a directory, -e if the path exists, -f if the given path is a file, -s if the file is greater than 0 bytes in size, and -z if the file is empty or 0 bytes in size. -text, so this is the command which will convert sequence files into text files. Okay, to get help you can run hadoop fs-help text and hit enter. Takes a source file and outputs the file in text format. One of the example is if it is sequence file, the sequence file will be converted to text. Okay, I don't have the sequence files or arrow files now to show how to convert it into text, but -text is the command which can convert sequence files into or arrow file formats into text. And you can use ignore crc if you just want to ignore the checksum. If you want to get the checksum, you can by default I think it will get the checksum. By using ignore crc it will not get the checksum. And then hadoop fs touch command will update the properties of the file. If the path does not exist or if the file does not exist, it will just create an empty file. So it is not just touch, it's touchz hadoop fs-help touchz creates a file of 0 length with current time as the timestamp of that. An error is written if the file exists with a non-zero length. Okay, actually it will not update the file properties of the file like regular Linux command. In regular Linux command you can run touch and it will update the properties of the file such as timestamp. So let's say hadoop fs touchz user root file.txt, and you will see hadoop fs-ls user root and hit enter. So you can see an empty file created with that file name, and if you run it again, as long as it is 0 bytes it will work, but if you do it on a non-zero byte size file it will fail because it's not an empty file. Okay, so that is about touch command. And then the final command, usage. So hadoop fs-help usage, you can see the details. It just displays the command, the usage for given command for all commands if none is specified. So the output which we are giving here is nothing but usage. So hadoop fs usage and hit enter. See, it is nothing, it is same as when you run hadoop fs command. And also if you pass individual commands, hadoop fs usage, let's say ls, whatever is there here for ls, the same thing will be displayed. So to quickly glance what are the options that are available for a given command and all, you can use the usage. If you want to get a little bit more details about what that command do, then you can use help command. So that's the difference between help and usage. So that being said, we have completed all the commands except for attr commands, and this is more than important for many purposes. I will try to cover attr related commands sometime later. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you want to provide the feedback, please use the comment section of the video. If you want to discuss further about certifications or big data or Hadoop, please join my LinkedIn groups called IT-certifications and IT-big data. Finally, if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You will get to see a lot more content like this over time. And if you live in countries where YouTube fan funding or support the channel is supported, you will see support the channel section here in countries like US and UK and few other European countries. Please click on that and contribute as much as you want. It can take from $1 to $500. Thank you. Bye.